Hi, my name's Dominic. Welcome to the podcast, Sharing the Good News. And today I want to start off talking about Jesus Christ. When you look at the ministry of Christ and what he came down from heaven to do, when you read about his life on the earth, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John all give us a record of his life, things that he spoke, things that he did, what his mission was, and so forth. And one of the things that you're going to find as you read through the Gospels is Christ would go from place to place, and he would speak these teachings, these doctrines that were new to people. Most of them were new, and what he would do is, as he would speak these things, not only would he say words, but then he would actually physically heal people. So people were coming that had actual diseases and sicknesses, and blind people, deaf people, all different types of diseases. And as he was preaching, what he would do is he would heal them, and everybody could see that this person, who some of them they've known from the time they were a child, they've known him their whole lives, that now he was healed. He didn't have the same sickness. What was Christ doing? Christ wanted us to see, he wanted the world to see that he has power to heal. Now, it's one thing to be healed from a physical sickness. I mean, that's great. That's wonderful. But the things in which it is that Christ wanted to offer healing for was the sicknesses of the heart and of the mind, the things that were internal. Christ wanted to offer salvation, forgiveness of sins, how to find peace. When you look at the response of the people after Christ preached the Sermon on the Mount, I want you to think about the response. Okay, so Matthew chapter 5, 6, and 7 are a record of the sermon that Christ gave. And it says that in Matthew chapter 7 and verse 28, it says, "And he came to pass, when Christ ended these sayings, that the people were astonished at his doctrine. For he taught them as one having authority and not as the scribes." That word astonish is a strong word. They heard what Christ had to say. They were astonished. They were in shock. They have never heard anything like this. They've never seen somebody speak like this with the conviction, and not just speaking words, but power behind these words. So what is he saying? What is it in his message that left them astonished? Well, that's what we're going to get into in this podcast, is these teachings of Christ. And I want to start off by talking a little bit about the mission of Christ, okay? And one of my favorite accounts in the Bible is in Luke chapter 4. Luke chapter 4 is when Christ comes back to his hometown as an adult, right? And it says in Luke 4 and verse 16 that he goes back to Nazareth, where he had been brought up. And as his custom was, it says he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day to read. So he's there in the synagogue, and it says that he asked, they delivered unto him the book of Isaiah, okay? And he goes through it, and he finds the place where there's a prophecy about him. So he goes there, and it says he found where it was written, and in verse 18, he begins to read it. "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, and recovering of sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised, to preach the acceptable year of the Lord." He closes the book, he hands it back to the minister, and it says everybody's eyes are fastened on him. What just happened? And it says in verse 21, he said, "This day is this scripture fulfilled in your ears." All these years ago, when this was written down by the prophet Isaiah, today's the day. I'm here, okay? But I want you to think about, what did he say he came to do? He said, "I have been chosen, I have been anointed to preach the gospel to the poor." He's not just talking about people that are poor financially. He's talking about people that are in need internally, spiritually. those that are taken by their sin, those that can't seem to stop different thoughts and problems and things that they struggle with. He's talking about people that are poor spiritually. He says, I have been chosen to heal people that are brokenhearted. Wow. To be able to heal somebody whose heart has been broken. Maybe your heart has been broken by the evils of the world around you. Maybe people have done wicked things to you or to people that you love, and it has broken your heart. You've been betrayed. You've been taken advantage of. You've been abused. And Christ said, I came to heal. I came to heal people whose hearts have been broken. He said, I have been sent, I have been anointed to preach deliverance to captives. People that are in bondage to their sin, they can't stop being angry. They can't control their lusts. They're so bitter inside. They have so much hatred inside. They have so much anxiety and they're depressed. And he says, you're captive to those things. But I came to preach and to tell you how to be released of that bondage. I came, he said, to give sight, recovering of sight to the blind. You can't see without Christ. There's so much noise that goes on all around us. There's so many things, people influencing everybody on TikTok and on YouTube and everywhere, you name it, right? He says, you can't see, you're blind, but I'm going to open your eyes. I'm going to let you see truth. He says, I came to set at liberty those that have been bruised, and I came to preach this acceptable year of the Lord. I'm going to talk about this time that has been prophesied about for many, many years. This right here is what I love about the Bible, and that's why I love this set of scriptures. I love the set of scriptures because it expresses what Christ came to do. The scriptures have healed me and have changed my life in so many ways. The man that I was before I was a Christian and the man that I am today are two different people. And glory be to God for that. And the same thing can happen to you. And so in this podcast, what we're going to do is we're going to begin to go through some of these teachings. What are these things that Christ taught? What is this gospel? The gospel, that word gospel actually means good news. What is the good news that Christ came all the way down from heaven to deliver to the earth? What's this good news? And that good news is contained right here within the scriptures. So stick around, and we're going to continue to delve into the meat of these things that Christ came to accomplish. And what you're going to find is that if you are willing to not just hear the words of Christ, but actually believe them with all of your heart and then do them, you are going to find that your life will be radically changed forever. And not just your life on this earth, but also your life after you leave this earth. So please send me an email. I'd love to talk to you directly, sharing the good news 34@gmail.com. You'll find it in the link below. And I look forward to the next episode as we can continue to go into more of these truths from the Word of God.